It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk.
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Byron Jamar Terry. He's an advocate in mental health. He's a sports coach and obviously going to Kennesaw State University. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play football?
So when I was younger, so the story goes when I was younger, my mom saw someone else who was like my age at the time, like a little kid in their football uniform, and she thought that that was nice. And somebody suggested to her um, that they sign me up for football or that she signs me up for football. So she got me signed up, and then I was playing in, a recreational league. I was playing for like the Auburn Tigers, not the literal Auburn Tigers in college, but like recreation teams in little league sort of mimic college teams sometimes. So I was playing for like I guess, recreational Auburn Tigers and the recreational Florida Gators. So since those mimic college teams, I really got into college football and just football in general. So at that point, I was kind of obsessed with football, still kind of am in some ways, but once I started playing football, I just sort of fell in love with it.
How was it like, obviously, being a walk-on at Kennesaw State?
So I tried out. Well, I mean, technically, I'm not a walk-on there right now because I didn't make it, but I can tell you the process, how that process went. So the tryout was August 16th, I believe. Yeah, which was the first day of class 2 at Kennesaw State University throughout the fall semester. So I trained all throughout the summer for it and stuff like that. And my mindset was, well, if this tryout doesn't work, if I don't make it, I still have like football that I can do throughout the fall and then just try again next fall, next year. So I was doing a lot of rehab, especially from coming off an injury and stuff like that, doing a lot of rehab. And I have a medical condition, found out that I had that throughout the summer when I was training. It's called orthostatic tremors, and it's when you shake. So the main shaking is in my legs. So that was kind of affecting me with football somewhat, just a tad bit, especially being a receiver. So I was taking like 6 pills a day, 2 times each, so 3 times a day. So to sort of like help with my medical condition. So I was doing that, rehabbing and stuff like that, all that. So I was training with my trainer. My trainer was training me for football, getting me ready for the tryout. And so I had bought a new shirt for tryouts and like a new pair of shorts for the tryout. And I laid it out in the room, sort of how they do with I'm pulling it up, sort of how they do with, I guess, the first day of school when you like lay your clothes out for the first day of school, like, oh, I'm gonna wear this. I did the same thing for tryouts. So tryout day, get everything ready, get everything settled. I get to the tryout and I'm there. We check in and we do all this stuff. So I warm up, we do 40-yard dashes, 2 of those, and then we split up into our groups. I was with the receivers. So we did some drills, did some start drills like in your receiver stance, and we did cone drills, stuff like that. And so we did that, and then we did some more drills, and they brought us all together. And that was pretty much round 1 of the tryout. So I went home to get ready for school. So I got ready for school, went to class, came back home, and I took a nap, I think, and then I looked at my school email, and it said that you didn't make it for round 1 of the tryout, sorry, and stuff like that. So I was kind of sad about it. I took it really hard. I took it so hard that what I wore to tryouts, when I got back home, I left it on the floor the same way I had it before I went to tryouts, and I've just left it there since August. it's December and it's been the same way I left it because I took it that hard. So here's like a picture of what I wore. So the shirt, shorts, same leg sleeve I wore when I was training throughout the summer, and socks. So I took it really hard. I took it so hard that I didn't even want to watch college football much. But I've watched like 5 college football games, maybe 6. But I will watch the playoffs definitely in the national championship. But that's kind of how that went. So I took it hard, but I was like, okay, you can try again. I gave myself like a week to cry about it, or be upset about it or whatever. And then I went back to work with my trainer to get ready for flag football. And, I did that. So I did flag football in the fall. So yeah.
What is it like, obviously, getting to play flag football for Kennesaw State?
So they have an intramural league. So I did the intramural league in the fall. And then in the winter, I'm doing a separate league somewhere else, not like a university type league, but just a sort of like a recreational flag football league because I love playing football. So I want to do that. But at Kennesaw, they had an intramural league. So I did that. So it was cool. I got my team together. It was kind of tough getting my team together, but I got them together, and I think they did really good throughout the season, and they progressed really good. So I was the team's coach, captain, and receiver. So it's kind of hard being the coach, captain, and the receiver because I have to make sure I'm getting better, and I have to make sure everybody else is getting better. So I came up with offensive scheme, defensive scheme. It was my playbook, my defensive scheme, all that. So I got everybody together, and we had like training camp. Like my mind is so advanced with football. Like I'm thinking like NFL. It's like NFL, 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 like professional type. So we had a little mini training camp. I had my players watching film. We had training camp practices. Like we practiced together, all that stuff, of course. So my team went on 3. We should have went 2-1, but it's not that because we weren't good. It's just the rules weren't necessarily in our favor. Because flag football rules are different than even regular 7-on-7 rules. Regular 7-on-7, there's no rush. I think the QB has 5 seconds to throw the ball or something like that, and after that, the play is over. So in the intramural league and just regular flag football in general, you can rush. Sometimes people play different rules where you have to wait like 5 Mississippi to rush or whatever, but so that was kind of tough to deal with during games. But overall, I think my team did really good. I mean, I'm proud of how they did. I'm proud of how I did. So, I think I did well throughout the season. I think everybody did well. So, speaking of flag football at Kennesaw State, there was a charity 7-on-7 at Kennesaw State in November. It was by the Gamma Phi Beta sorority. So it was for philanthropy. So the winning team got to choose whatever charity they wanted to donate the winning money to. So I got a team together from that. I only had one person from my regular flag football team from intramural league, but I got people together for that, and we won it all. I think I did good. I had like 5 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 2 receiving. Should have been 6, but everybody did well. Everybody balled out, and we ended up winning the charity 7-on-7. I used the same team name as intramural, Team Honey Badgers. So we won, and I decided what charity that money got donated to, and it was the Never Alone Food Pantry in Woodstock, Georgia. So, but yeah, so that's kind of how flag football went. But I'm excited to probably play in the winter. So.
Of course, how has obviously playing flag football helped you as a coach? And what is it like, obviously, balancing being a coach of flag football and also playing?
So it's hard to balance it really. Like I said, just making sure that I'm ready to play and making sure my team is ready to play. Because I've coached football before, like regular football, twice actually. So my first year of coaching, I won a championship back at my old school that I used to play at in high school and stuff. So and middle school for a period of time. But so I have coaching experience. So I'm sort of like a coach on the field. That's the type of player I am. Like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, just intelligence, getting everybody like together and just, being really, I guess, smart with the game plan and really advanced. So it's kind of difficult, but I think when everybody buys in to it, that I think it could go well. But it is kind of difficult at times because we'll be doing drills, and so I'll do the drill first, and then I'll turn around and be like, all right, now y'all do it. So I gotta watch everybody else do it on, for flag football and stuff. Gotta watch really with coaching, with flag football specifically, since I was playing and coaching and being the captain of the team. So I would have to do a drill, then watch everybody else do the drill and tell them if they did it right or wrong, and go forth from there. But it's kind of difficult, but it was fun at the same time because I like being a leader. I feel like I've always been this type of leader in sports, whether that's being a premier player or not. I really wasn't the premier player before, so that's not really a big deal. But I think I can emerge as a leader in some ways. The type of leader I am is just I encourage people, I motivate people, and just try to help my team as best as I can. So kind of difficult to do, play coach, be the captain, all that stuff, but it's fun though. I like that responsibility.
Who are some players that you implement your game after in the NFL?
So some players that I implement my game after. So from a intelligence standpoint, it would be Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Peyton Manning is my favorite football player ever. So when it comes to, I guess, scheme and just being smart about the game, being really advanced, Peyton Manning has been a really big inspiration for me with that. And Tom Brady with the whole, I guess, underdog mindset and stuff like that. And he's really smart too, of course, obviously. He's like a coach on the field too. So, and so with being a receiver, the people that I try to implement my game after in the NFL would be players like Odell Beckham Jr., who's my favorite current NFL player. He plays wide receiver for the Rams. I like who's some other players? I like Odell Beckham Jr. I like KJ Hamler for the Broncos. I like Calvin Ridley for the Falcons. People like that. Really, anybody that's like short, that's a wide receiver, that's really good. I try to implement my game after, but mainly people like Odell Beckham Jr., Calvin Ridley. There are some really good route runners. Amari Cooper is a really good route runner, but I pay a little bit more attention to receivers that are short that are good too, because I'm only like 5'10". So, I try to watch receivers I can sort of compare to in some ways, but I think I can take, game from a lot of receivers in the NFL to try to help my game too. But mainly watching film, it'll probably be Odell Beckham Jr., guys like that, Jarvis Landry, Calvin Ridley, people like that. So, yeah.
Of course, when you talk about Odell and stuff like that, do you also look at JuJu SmithSchuster from the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I have looked at JuJu Smith-Schuster before. I think he's really good with the run after the catch and stuff like that. I'm not really a Steelers fan, so I haven't really paid much attention to JuJu, but I know for that team, Deontay Johnson is playing really well this season, so I have seen that, but I don't really pay too much attention to the Steelers. My favorite team is the Indianapolis Colts. So because Peyton Manning was there and I grew up a Colts fan, but I'm from Georgia, so I kind of like the Falcons too, but the Colts and the Giants are my main teams. Pretty much wherever the Mannings go, I go. And I like the Browns and I like the Rams. So, yeah.
Of course, as you said, you're an Indianapolis Colts fan. So does that mean you also implement your game after Michael Pittman Jr.?
I really like Michael Pittman Jr. I think he's a really good receiver. One of my friends actually that went to my high school plays on the Colts too, Isaac Rochelle. But since the Colts are my favorite team, I do watch them a good bit when I can. If I can get those channels and stuff. So watch those games. But I think Michael Pittman Jr. is a really good receiver. I don't really watch a whole lot of film on him, but I do know he is good. I think he's really athletic too. So I like him. And then guys like Rondale Moore for Arizona Cardinals. He's small, but he's like really fast too. So I like to watch him.
What has it been like, obviously, to have your platform to bring awareness to mental health?
I think it's been really good just to see, I guess, the feedback that I've gotten from people with my platform, with promoting mental health and wellness and doing mental health advocacy. So with that, I started writing and, just share my stories about mental health struggles such as depression and anxiety and stuff like that. And to see how many people can relate to that and how many people go through that and how they get through it and stuff like that, I think it's crazy how I guess my platform has sort of been built up and just the amount of people that have said that they like my writings or that my writings have helped them or that I've inspired them to, I guess, get help with their mental health struggles and, going to therapy and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool. I think it's a blessing to sort of have a platform, especially to use my platform for mental health advocacy as well. But sometimes I kind of get a little discouraged because, I don't think I have the biggest platform, but either way, as long as I'm, helping people and, just inspiring people, which I want to do, the size of the platform doesn't really, matter too much, but I'm a competitor. So I want my platform to be really, really big because I think the bigger my platform is, the more people I can reach and the more people I can inspire and sort of help in a way, whether that be through my writings or just through my mental health advocacy overall. So yeah, I think having a platform is really cool.
What are some things that you have accomplished so far as a student at Kennesaw State?
So I transferred to Kennesaw State in August 2020 for the fall semester. Prior to that, I was at Point University. When I transferred to Kennesaw State University, I was figuring out what school was I going to go to. So it was between Georgia Southern and Kennesaw State University, and I visited Kennesaw State, and I was like, I like it here. I'm on my visit and stuff. And in early 2020, I'm thinking like March. So I visited and I really liked it. They accepted me in June, and so I declared to go to Kennesaw State University. But the crazy thing is, I got a rejection letter in the mail from Kennesaw State University. I actually got rejected by them when I first applied coming out of high school, but I got rejected by them again the second time while I was in college to transfer, only because they didn't have all of my information that they needed, like transcript stuff. So some of the grades weren't there all the way. So I had to get like a new transcript and make sure it had everything on there that I needed to transfer. So I sent that in, and people with admissions really helped me with that at Kennesaw State. So I did that, and I got the letter in the mail, and it said you've been accepted. And so a few days later or something like that, I said I was going to Kennesaw. So, but right after that, I had surgery in July 2020 on my knee. So I wasn't on campus um, in the fall for the 2020 semester because I was at home rehabbing and, recovering from that. So I just did online classes. So my GPA for the first semester that I was at KSU was a 3.25. So I was really happy with that. And then throughout the spring semester in 2021, I collaborated with the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, or SAC, at Kennesaw State University, and we did a mental health panel. So I hosted a mental health panel. So I had athletes on there, school psychologists, doctors, and stuff like that. And it was a whole mental health panel. So I think that was the first one that KSU has ever done, I guess, mental health panel wise, especially with SAC, or the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. So I was really proud of myself for having that idea and sort of facilitating that and hosting it. I had a good amount of help too with that. So I appreciate everybody who helped me with that. So that's one thing. But another reason why I came to Kennesaw State University was it's convenient for me, especially being from Georgia, of course. But I feel like I could make more of an impact at Kennesaw State than other schools, considering Kennesaw State isn't too big of a university, but I mean, it kind of is, but it isn't at the same time. But I thought, and I think I can make more of an impact here. So I'm still working on making more of an impact here and just accomplishing more. So I did good this semester too, fall 2021 semester, grade wise. So I'm proud of that, but I have more work to do though.
What are some of your game day routines and rituals like playing flag football?
So rituals and routines, it could be with flag football, regular football, in general, whatever. I just love football. But really, so the day before games, I would watch highlights, and on the day of. So since for intramural league we play on Mondays, but in the winter league I'm playing in it's on Sundays. But so on Mondays, or that Sunday before the game on Monday for intramural league, I would watch highlights of players that I like, and I would just get ready for that and make sure. I guess like I'm all ready to go, ice up a little bit, stuff like that. Whatever it is I need to get ready, and so pack my bag up and stuff like that, and then figure out what I'm gonna wear and stuff like that. So when the game comes, Monday, go to the game, have my headphones on, check in, get my little warm up in and stuff like that, and just play the game. That's pretty much my routine. Listen to music, chill out. But the thing is, with intramural league, we had games on Mondays, and I had class on Mondays, so I could have a quiz or a test I have to do. So I'll be, concerned about that during the day, and then the flag football game at night. So yeah, but I mean, my routines are pretty much simple. Even if it was regular football, it'd be pretty much the same thing. Just watching highlights the day before, the day of, listening to music, and just warming up, doing my thing. So yeah.
Of course, I noticed that you are also a YouTuber along with being a coach. What is it like being a YouTuber, and what it obviously is your YouTube channel about?
So it's cool being a YouTuber. I kind of been inactive, so I got to get my act together. But I've been posting more. I make videos about sports or fashion, mental health, blogs, stuff like that. So I think it's pretty cool being a YouTuber. I think it is tough though. So, I mean, some people have told me they want to start a YouTube channel. They don't want to have to deal with all the editing and posting consistently and this and this and this and this. But I've been doing YouTube for a long time, off and on here and there, but consistent here and there as well. I got to get more consistent though, but I think it's pretty cool though. So
Of course,
yeah. Oh,
however,
and my YouTube is just my name. So if somebody looked up Byron Jamar Terry or even Byron Terry by itself without my middle name, I think they could find it. But it would be youtube.com/the Terry Byron one. So it'd be youtube.com/the and then my last name, which is Terry, first name Byron, and then the number one. So yeah.
of course, how have you been able to balance being a YouTuber, a football player, and a coach all at the same time?
So well, I got my first coaching job in 2019. I was just 20 years old at the time, but doing that, I was doing classwork too, taking classes when I was at Point University, and then doing that, and then going to practice and coaching people. So I mean, and then making like YouTube videos too. So it's kind of difficult to juggle it all, but I think I have good time management. So I mean, I don't think it's too big of a deal really. I'm more concerned about writing in my blog and stuff like that than I am YouTube, or I pay more attention to my blog than I do my YouTube channel, if that makes sense, sort of. So yeah.
Of course, how have you been able to overcome everything and been proving people wrong?
So I mean, it's just the mindset, really. It's just my mindset. I think I have like a Odell, Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, whoever type of mindset where it's like I want to prove people wrong, but I got to focus more so on proving myself right. But I feel like I have a chip on my shoulder sometimes, even at Kennesaw State University, because I feel like, I've been doubted by some, ignored or mistreated, whatever you call it, slept on. And I want to show those people, whether it be people online or people at my school, at Kennesaw State, whatever, just people in general. I want to show them, I want my success to show them why they shouldn't have doubted me, slept on me, mistreated me, ignored me, whatever. But there's really just a mindset. So like the more I accomplish, I feel like the more I'm proving other people wrong. But the more I accomplish is the more I'm proving myself right. Because that's the main thing at the end of the day. Because I can't sit here and just have my main motivation just being proving people wrong, because that's just gonna it could it can be a deterrent in some ways. It's just you have to use that properly, but you have to focus more on yourself. So I have to focus more on myself than other people. So I'm still even learning that now. But just to overcome it, really, it's just like I said, a mindset thing. Just watching some of the athletes that I look up to, how they overcome adversity and the doubters and stuff like that. I kind of look at that, and really, you can use that in life too. The athlete's mentality is not just playing sports, just in life. It could be you could want to prove people wrong in school. And I think I've proved people wrong in school too. So I've done that. And with sports, and coaching and just other stuff that I've accomplished, I think I've proven people wrong. And I want to continue to do that. But I also want to continue to prove myself right. And, I feel like the best way to sort of, I guess, prove them wrong in a sense, or like a revenge type thing, like proving them wrong as your revenge type of thing. I think for me, I guess the best way to prove other people wrong is just to be successful and have fun. Just have fun. Once they see you having fun and being successful, they can't really say anything after that. It's like, dang, I treated them this way, or in my case, they treated me this way and this way, but I'm having fun and being successful. So like how they treated me or whatever, or doubted me or whatever is irrelevant at that point. So yeah.
What advice would you give people looking to go into playing football, whether it's on the D1 level or obviously flag football like how you did?
My advice would be just to work hard, pay attention, study that playbook, study, and be in your coach's ear. Ask questions. Like me playing football, either in high school or just in general, I'm always in the coach's ear. Like even from when I was younger playing football all the way up, like I'm always asking them questions. I'm asking other players that are good questions like, hey, why'd you do this? Or how did you see this on the field? Why did you call this play? Because I'm a coach too, but even on the field, I have that coach's sort of mindset or mentality too. So it's like, why'd you do this? Why'd you throw this? So I would suggest, being in the coach's ear, studying that playbook, watching film, working hard, and really just taking it one thing at a time. Can't do it all overnight. So take it one thing at a time. Make sure all your business off the field, or even doesn't have to be just football, off the field, off the court, off the baseball diamond, whatever it is. Make sure your off the field business is taken care of, school, everything else, and then everything within your sport can be a little easier to take care of with stuff, off the field or outside of your sport being taken care of as well.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
So my Twitter is at BJT, which are my initials. So at BJT _ era, ERA. So one more time, it's at my Twitter and Instagram are at BJT _ ERA. And my YouTube channel is the Terry Byron #1. So yeah, and my blog, if you just look up my name, Byron Jamar Terry, and Medium, that's the platform I write on, you can find my blog. Or if somebody were to look me up on Google, my blog would be one of the first things to come up, I think. So yeah.
Thank you again, Byron Jamal Terry, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Sir, thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Byron Jamal Terry, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.